Today I have a comparison of the Spyderco Delica 4 FRN on the top versus the Byrd Meadowlark 2 FRN on the bottom. Thanks for clicking to watch this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe to my channel. I have some more knife content planned here early for 2017 as soon as things arrive. Now on to the comparison. The reason these two knives look so similar is because they're made by the same parent company. Byrd is Spyderco's budget line. The Spyderco Delica 4 has been a very popular line for Spyderco, and it has heavily influenced the design of the Byrd Meadowlark 2. Couple of quick stats to start out. The Byrd Meadowlark 2, here in black, its blade length is 2.875 inches and its overall weight is 2.4 ounces. Just turning around the knife here, just a little quick look at it. It is a back lock. The Spyderco Delica 4 FRN, here, its blade length is also 2.85 inches and its overall weight is 2.3 ounces, so just a tenth of an ounce less. But let's focus on the blades first. As you can see, they are very similar. I would almost call them the same. There are a few differences. The Spidey hole on the Byrd is different, and if you don't know there, that's the hole in the top. It is used for your thumb to open. But other than that, the blades look just nearly identical. The jimping is different. Let me get the camera to focus here and not cut myself. As you can see, the jimping on the Spyderco on the right is sharper. It's finer and just more grippy in general. However, the jimping on the Byrd is very sufficient. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not as sharp, not as fine. While we're at it here, we can look at the spine. And the jimping on the two are really similar. I really don't see much of a difference there. The back locks are very similar. And here's just a little bit we can see here. The fit and the finish. The Byrd, it did raise up here a little bit, and I took a knife to it and kind of shaved it down. And the Spyderco here is just a little bit raised, not perfectly flush, but still pretty good. Couple other differences we see here. The Byrd has a finger choil, so when you're holding it, you can grip up a little bit. The Spyderco doesn't have that. It's not a big deal to me. You can kind of do it here if you want, but you do risk with your finger slips going onto the blade. The Byrd is slightly shorter in overall length as well. And let me line these up here. And you can see that. It's just slightly shorter overall. Really, I didn't even notice this. Both these knives are frame locks, so and they both lock up real nice. No blade play in the Byrd, and the Spyderco is the same. And no blade play. Both are excellent in that regard. Two big differences about the overall handles of the knives. The Spyderco has rounded edges. As you can see here, it's just a little more refined design, a little more ergonomic. The Byrd has 90-degree corners here. They're not sharp. They don't get in the way, but it's just a less refined design in my opinion. The biggest difference between the two, handle-wise, I think, are these texture in the grips. The Byrd here is just a one-direction dots. They're just overall dots. There's no direction to them. They're just nubs. The Spydercos are clearly designed to be used in a pocket situation where you're going to pull the knife out. So there's really good grip here. I would say of the knives I have, this might have the best overall texture for grip. It's not too sharp, it won't abuse your pockets, but it's a great lock-in feel. Something else to note here while we're zoomed in, the pocket clip on the Spyderco and the Byrd both have tip up, tip down, left, right carry. So you've got screw holes on both sides, which is really nice. The Spidey hole or the beak, for me, I think they function pretty much the same. I haven't had any differences with them. The edges on the beak are a little sharp as they are on the Spidey hole. It's not sharp enough that it'll cut you, but it's sharp enough you can really, you know when you're there and locked in. They do have the same pocket clips. The Spyderco is coated in black paint and the Byrd is just a polished and tumbled metal. In this case, I really like the black. I just like a black pocket clip. It goes better with pants. It doesn't attract any light. I just prefer it. However, the coating is wearing off. As you can see, I've carried mine a pretty good amount, and the edges of it are wearing. If it was a parkerized finished or one of the other finishes that some of the firearms manufacturers use, I think it'd be better overall. The Byrd doesn't suffer from that since it is just polished. The other big differences, I will say, is the hardware. Both hardware is good. However, the Spyderco is better. I've moved my pocket clip around a little bit as I've experimented with different carries on both knives. And the Byrd, the screws just don't come out as well. On the Spyderco, you can unscrew them. They come right out. They go right back in really easily. With the same driver, on the Byrd, I've got to fight them to come out a little bit, and I've even got to press quite a bit harder to get them to go into the handle. I just don't think on the Byrd the screws would line up in the future as well as they will with the Spyderco. The steel is another big difference between these two. The Spyderco uses VG10 and it's made in Japan. VG10 is a really great steel. It's pretty rust resistant. It's often used in a lot of kitchen knives, and it's Japanese made. It is very sharp, it's easy to sharpen, and it stays sharp reasonably long. It's a great EDC steel that's mildly affordable. The Spyderco uses a Chinese 8CR13 MOV steel. I don't have any trouble with 8CR steel myself. Some people really hate it. It is a Chinese steel. I think it takes an edge pretty well, and it's easy to sharpen. It isn't going to hold an edge as long as VG10, and it's not as rust resistant as VG10. But for everyday carry type situations where you're opening mail, opening boxes, maybe a little bit of minor food prep or things like that, I don't have any trouble with it as long as you maintain it and have a way to sharpen it when you need to. At the end of the day, the Byrd Meadowlark 2 is a good high-value Chinese-produced knife. Its ergonomics and design and its fit and its finish are good overall for its money. The 8CR13 MOV steel is pretty decent for normal tasks and easy to sharpen. I feel like the knife overall is about 80% of the Delica. The Spyderco Delica, on the other hand, is the full 100%. Yes, it costs more, but at the end of the day, you're paying for a more refined design with better materials, with Japanese-made VG10, and its handle color comes in many options, whereas the Byrd only comes in black. Spyderco is also made in Seiki City, Japan, which is for centuries been known as a knife and sword producing region. You also pay a little bit more for the Spyderco name. It's a high-end name. It's a better knife overall. For me, the winner is the Spyderco Delica, if your budget allows it. I don't think you'll be disappointed in the Delica at all. If your budget is a bit short for the Delica, the Byrd Meadowlark 2 is a great budget option. It's close in overall design and function, but made with less expensive materials and labor. Strictly speaking on value, it's a fantastic choice. At the time of filming in January of 2017, the Byrd can be found online for about $20, whereas the Delica is about $60. I'll have links to purchase both below. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please take 5 seconds to like and subscribe to my channel for more content in the future. Thanks.